All right, welcome back, everybody, to where are we? Brisbane. We're in Brisbane. Welcome back. We've got world number one Sabalenka, who's been overall over the matches she's played, has been the best player in the top 10. Everybody else has had troubles except for her, but today she's taking on somebody that she has struggled with in the past. And Muchova, we know how, Muchova is probably, I would say, the most elegant player to watch on the WTA. I think she's like watching, it's unless she's playing bad. When she's playing well, it's so easy to watch. She's just effortless. She floats around the court. She has every shot in the book. It's Federer-like. With the way that she kind of just glides. So hopefully she plays like that, because that's I love watching that. It's so effortless from Muchova. So it's gonna be a real test for Sabalenka today. She did beat Keys though in the last round pretty simply. So let's see if she can continue that. Muchova's been healthy, which is good, because the biggest thing with Muchova over the probably the last 5 years, she's had high moments making Grand Slam semifinals and finals. But she's also been injured a lot. 3-1 in favor of Muchova. They haven't played since Beijing 24, where Muchova won in 3. Muchova's won their last 3. Sabalenka hasn't beaten Muchova since 2019. So that is very interesting. What is it? 2-1 on hard courts. Of course, who can forget that epic match they played at the French Open back in 2023, where Sabalenka had match point and Muchova came back to win. And take the final and play Swiatek and put up a good fight against her too. So, yeah, hopefully Muchova stays healthy, because I think even though the WTA, God, they should start paying me to say this, but they don't need to pay me, because I'll say it anyway. So good. WTA is in such a great spot. I don't know how it gets any better. Maybe Muchova being healthy for a year and playing well makes it even better. Another player to keep an eye on, another player to enjoy. But yeah, Muchova being healthy is only going to make the WTA even better if she can stay on the park. So let's see. Big day today, by the way. We've got Eala taking on Wong. That's coming up in about 3.5 hours. We've got Swiatek Gauff tonight. Treat. Hurkacz versus Fritz is happening today as well. Bencic is playing right now against Mertens. Medvedev's playing tonight. He avoided disaster yesterday. We have Bagula taking on Kostyuk as well. And then Sinkaraz are playing. But I don't have any idea. I'm going to just have to watch the highlights, I guess. But they're playing, and we're just going to, unless somebody in the chat is going to be able to keep us updated on it, I don't know. We're just going to have to see if, just keep up to date with the online chatter. Yeah, I don't have Sky Sports. Sabalenka absolutely will win this match. I feel like the last set of the Keys match, second set of the Keys match, Sabalenka was not as good as she had been for the first while. So yeah, Muchova can beat her. This is the hardest match Sabalenka's had so far this week. Hardest matchup. Been outside touching snow today. Nice. Well, I went outside and touched grass and went for a run, which I'll probably pay for later. Yay. All right. But here we go. Let's see if Muchova can continue this amazing run. Muchova's only got one title. Shocking things in tennis that you probably didn't know. Muchova's only got one title to her name, which is very surprising. Get a treadmill? Nah. I had a treadmill and I got rid of it because I didn't use it. Running out on the road is much more beneficial to me. How are the fires? So, thankfully, not deadly. There's 3 people missing, but which is really sad. Hopefully they're okay, but there's no. Most people that were affected are safe. They've lost houses, which is sad. They've lost. There's animals. There's so many animals have been caught up in the fires, obviously. But which is, again, super sad. But overall, it's still going on. I mean, there's still fires right now. It's not over. But as far as it goes, it's not super. It's been devastating for livestock and for buildings, but not for people. So that's a positive, but it's still going. So it's still sketchy. It's not as bad as today's a little cooler, but it's still sketchy. Australian Open is on next week. That is correct. It starts in 7 days or 8 days. All right, here we go. By the way, speaking of weather, next Monday week, the second day of the Australian Open is going to be 38 degrees, according to forecast. So, yeah, this Australian Open is probably going to be a stinker. I thought a couple of weeks ago it was looking to be average, just another hot summer, but nothing crazy. But now looking at the forecast, they've upped all the temperatures, and it's going to be it's going to be hot. Especially those first few days are going to be stinking hot. So expect late night matches because they're going to delay everything. 36 on the Monday, 33, 33, 30, 30, 31, and then 30 on the following Sunday. So for the whole first week, 30 plus. And that's temperature. On the court, it's going to be hotter. So, yeah, for the whole first week of the AO is going to be stinking hot. And then the second half, second Monday, 26, 25, and then 30, 31, 31, and then 31 on the men's final day, 26 for the ladies' final. But they're at night, so that's not as bad. But yeah, it's gonna be a very hot Australian Open at the moment. That could change. I mean, 2 weeks ago they weren't forecasting 40 degrees yesterday, so it could get worse. But at this stage, it's gonna be warm. It's gonna be very warm. It's gonna be tough Australian Open for everybody. So if you are going to the Australian Open, please take as much fluids as you can and don't sit in the sun for more than 30 minutes. Don't sit there and watch a match all day with no water, because that's when bad things happen. So if you are going to the Open, please stay safe. It is hot as fuck, all right? 15-0. I feel like the Australian Open draw happens... Yeah, the Australian Open draw happens next week. I'm not sure when. Thursday? Friday? Something like that? I'm not going, but that's not because of the weather. It's just because I just don't have time. 15-0. There's a backhand cross-court from Sabalenka. That's a great shot. Muchova puts up a lob. And a smash from Sabalenka is good. Muchova gets there, but hits it wide. $30-15. Yeah, so I'm thinking day 2 is probably going to be... There's not going to be any play on day 2 on the outside courts if it's 36. So on the outside courts, it's probably going to be a heat rule. So if you are going day 2 of the Australian Open, please just change your day. Go a different day. Go on the Sunday. Backhand winner from Sabalenka, 40-15. $40-15. All right, 40-15. As we get a volley from Muchova. Beautiful shot at the net. 40-30. $40-30. How many courts of the AO have a roof? 3. All right, 40-30. Sabalenka serves. Into the forehand Muchova. Return goes out, and it's Sabalenka with the first game of the match. 1-love. 1-0. Mahatch is not wanting those conditions. Yeah, he's hoping he gets placed up against Sinner under the roof at night. He doesn't want to play on an outside court against another quali. That won't work. He might be unseeded, so he might get to play Djokovic or Alcaraz in the first, under the roof on the first day. I chose to sit this match out. Okay, why? It's a good match. All right, 1-love Sabalenka. Muchova to serve. Here we go. As Muchova serves. Into the backhand of Sabalenka. Muchova forehand to the backhand of Sabalenka, but Muchova hit it long. Love 15. Who's winning the first Sinkeraz meet? Who cares? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Probably Sinner, because Alcaraz doesn't really beat Sinner in exhibitions. But also, Alcaraz, it doesn't matter. Sinner beating Alcaraz in an exhibition doesn't matter. Alcaraz doesn't care. His fans don't care. The tennis world shouldn't care. As Sabalenka gets a return win, 30. It doesn't matter. And if Alcaraz beats Sinner, same thing. It does not matter. Until they play at the Australian Open or in a real match, it doesn't matter. But yeah, like I said, I think Sinner beats Alcaraz because it's an exhibition. And Sinner takes exhibitions slightly more serious than Alcaraz does. All right, drop shot from Sabalenka's good. Love 40. It is a practice, yeah. But Sinner will win because when you look at their track record when they're playing for fun, Alcaraz mucks around a lot more. So Sinner probably wins because Sinner's probably going to, he's not really he's not one to hit underarm serves and tweeners. That's Alcaraz's thing, right? Alcaraz is going to do all the silly shots because it's an exhibition. But that's why it doesn't matter, because if Alcaraz might say, I'm ready to win, but he's also probably going to entertain the crowd more than he's going to care about the result, right? As we saw at the Six King Slam, even though that was worth a lot of prize money, he still, he still lost, right? He lost to Tiafoe in December. That doesn't happen in real life because, especially last year, Tiafoe was having a terrible year last year, unfortunately. But he beat Alcaraz at the end of the year, so no. Again, that result. The only time Alcaraz has taken an exhibition seriously was when he beat Fonseca in December. Because I think it was just more like I'm not going to let this guy get a win over me before we've even really played for real. I think that's what that was. That's the only time I've seen Alcaraz not take something seriously like that. Was against Fonseca, but that's because Fonseca was taking it serious. As that goes out by Sabalenka deuce. But yeah, again, it doesn't matter what happens. Because we won't remember it when we get to Australia. When we get to the Australian Open, we're going to remember the last match being the ATP Finals because that's the last relevant one, right? That's the match that we're going to dissect before they play. If they play in Melbourne, Melbourne might be the place they'd never play. Which would be so sad. Wong Eala starts in about 3.5 hours. Muchova gets the deuce. Serve to the backhand of Sabalenka. Backhand now from Muchova. That's a good shot. Sabalenka gets it. Muchova down the line. Hits it long and it's advantage Sabalenka. But look, even though I've said all these things, we are going to watch If I can figure out how to watch it, we're going to watch Sinner. But again, we're going to watch it knowing that it doesn't matter who wins. Because it doesn't matter who wins. All right, Aryna Sabalenka back in Muchova down the line. Another one goes long. Sabalenka 2-love. That was a bad game by Muchova. Maybe a nervous game. Apparently Zverev's playing Kuyong next week. Great. We'll watch a bit of that. Would love to see you here in the Philippines for the upcoming Tennis Open match. You are very welcome here. Unfortunately, I won't be able to get there during that tournament because we've got the Australian Open, but I will be interested to watch that tournament, especially obviously Eala being if Eala does play. But I'm more interested to see what the crowds are like for the non-Eala matches because I want to see how everyone's going to watch Eala if she plays there. No, obviously, but how many people are going to watch the tennis matches not involving her? Because that's going to show how popular tennis is, not just how popular Eala. We know how popular Eala gets a crowd no matter where she plays. So I'm really interested to see all the people from the Philippines going to the non-Eala matches, and what's the atmosphere like for that? Because that shows how how interested everybody is in tennis as the sport, not just the players, right? 30-love. Looked into it. Only going to be on Korean TV. Yeah, I saw that too, but you have to be Korean to watch it. You have to be in Korea, and I'm not. I don't have any friends from that live there, so I don't know. 30-love. That's all right. Look, it's silly. There's an exhibition on anyway. At this point in time, backhand pass in the net by Muchova. Muchova's backhand is letting her down. 40-love. What's going on with Bencic and Mertens? It should come up here, but it's 3-0 in the third. Bencic has to win that because I think Bergs beats Wawrinka, and then the doubles. So Bencic kind of needs to win that. Too many matches today. Yeah, there's so many matches. They're all at the same time. We're lucky we got Sabalenka Muchova first when, it's sort of the only thing on. And we're kind of lucky the United Cup, a lot of the teams, a lot of the big hitters are not in the semis right now. Obviously Poland and USA are the two biggest hitters. It's Sabalenka with a backhand winner. It's 3-love. Great running from Sabalenka. No disrespect to Switzerland or Belgium, but they're not Italy, right? They're not Czechia. They're not, they're kind of a surprise to get to there. Or they were unlikely to get to the semis. It's an unlikely matchup, but that means we can watch. We don't have to worry too much. Because tonight we've got. So Eala plays Wong, Svitolina plays Jovic. Gauff Swiatek is that's the match of the day. Pegula plays Kostyuk. Sinner exhibition. Medvedev's playing. Is he playing Mickelson? I think he is, right? Medi Mickelson, which I think is a very interesting match. Mickelson has been. I would say Mickelson's been overlooked as one of the more overlooked players in his generation so far. And when I say his generation, I'm talking about Fonseca, Tien, Menchik. Mickelson doesn't really get the same attention, but he should. Yeah, Mickelson beat Korda. So Mickelson Medvedev, that's Mickelson could win that. Musetti Rublev, that's happening. Yeah, that's happening as well in Hong Kong, where there's a tournament in Hong Kong. Did you know? What else? There's probably something else I'm missing. I don't know. Probably a lot of things. $3-love anyway. 3-0. All right, Muchova. All right, who's in love? Nakashima's in the semis of Hong Kong as well. Yeah. And then next week, yeah, I don't know what's going on next week. Next week we've got a bunch of Australian Open practice matches. I think they're only one set each, though, aren't they? They're only one set matches, I think. We've been watching them the last couple of years. They're interesting because they give us a look at players that we haven't seen yet. Kooyong's happening, which I think is probably it wasn't here around last year. It's back this year. 40 love. Auckland, Shelton and Rude are playing Auckland, so that's something to keep an eye on. Adelaide for the ladies is kind of fire as well. Backhand rallies that goes out by Sabalenka. Muchova on the board. 3-1. What else is going on? Adelaide for the men's is... We got Fonseca over there, so we might watch that. Hobart for the ladies is also happening. Raducanu's number 2 seed there. And Jovic is playing. So there's a couple of players maybe to watch over there. And then, of course, the draw comes out. We've got so much stuff coming out, content coming out for preparations for the Australian Open. All the usual pre-slam information that you all need to know before going to the Australian Open. What you need to know before the big one. And then the Australian Open starts. And everything goes wild. Sabalenka gets that long. And it's 15-all. Sabalenka hit the tape and went in. 30-15. Sabalenka gets a little bit lucky. $30-15. As the return goes out by Sabalenka, by Muchova, 40-15. $40-15. Served on the tee. And the return goes out. All right, 4-1. 4-1. Can anyone... please don't spam. I'm going to stop answering spammers. All right. Thanks, Deb. If Bublik wins Hong Kong, he'll be number 10. Yes. I think if he wins today, he'll be number 10. He only has to make the final. I'm pretty sure. I don't think he has to win. He just has to make the final. I think if he wins today, he's number 10 in the world. Okay. 4-1. Sabalenka's got the break. What time's the Eala's game? It's in about 3 hours. 15 love. Sabalenka too strong, 15-0. All right. As Muchova serves an ace, 30-15. Muchova will come up strong in second set. Okay. Not that I dislike Fritz. I just want Hubie to have a great year. Fair. Sabalenka feels invincible against ladies now, having competed against Kyrgios. All right, 30-0. As Muchova serves. Into the corner, Sabalenka, return the net. Did I get my ice cream yesterday? I did. Yes. Yes, and it was the best. So good. It was so good. It was exactly what I needed. It was great. Backhand slice. Into the slice of Sabalenka. 4-0 from Muchova down the line. Goes wide and it's deuce. It was amazing. Biscoff. Sunday. Oh, it's perfect. Delicious. Oh, might get another one. Today. Nah, tomorrow. Maybe. Deuce. I would like it if it was in singles. Deuce was like in the doubles, more pressure. As we an ace from Muchova, advantage. I'm with you. I don't think it. I agree, but I think after 3 deuce, like 3 or 5, maybe on the 5th deuce, it's deciding point. Not that we need to cut down tennis, to make it, but I like the pressure aspect too. Like that's what I love about the doubles. Like when it gets to deuce, it's like it's a big deal. Like, you got to win this next point. It's there's no you can't be mucking around. Muchova comes to the net and hits a volley winner. All right, good rally by Muchova. Probably the best rally she's had all day. 4-2. But I like that. I would like that too, especially maybe not at the Grand Slams, but like outside the slams, best of 3 sets for the men and also the women's WTA game. I reckon it'll be good. Like after the 5th deuce, like, if we go, and that's a lot, right? 5 deuces is a lot. If we get to the 5th deuce, then we do deciding point. I'll be all for that. Grand Slams, I think let's not muck around with it. They don't muck around with the doubles in slams, do they? Keep it at 3. It's just, I'm just not a massive fan out, like, I just think that, like, maybe slams, you got to keep the scores the same because, if you're changing the scores all the time, people will get confused. But like early rounds, like when we're playing like a first round and we have like a 20-minute service game in the at 2-2 in the first set, it's like, what are we doing? We don't need to do that. That's not we don't have to do that. If there's a 20-minute game in the 5th set, remember that game in the Wimbledon final in 23 where Djokovic and Alcaraz had that marathon game that was super crucial, and then after that game, I think Djokovic broke a racket and it was a whole like that. We need those. I like those, right? That adds to the whole thing. But when it's like a first round of a 250 that no one's really paying attention to, and there's like a 10-minute game, do we need to? Can't we just? Do we need to have that? I don't know. Maybe for fitness levels, endurance, it maybe affects the players that work on endurance more and it takes away from them. But I don't know. I think 5 deuces is enough. Like, if we get to deuce for the 5th time, let's just like end the game, move on. We don't need to have marathon games every day. Anyways, what? They'll never change it, but it's just something to, I like the, like you said, I like the, that like the pressure of that sudden death deciding point. Like that's such a great part of the doubles. Because really, like we saw yesterday in the United Cup and also with the Eala, there's a bit of 4 now goes wide by Muchova 30-0. Sometimes it only takes 3 or 4 deciding points to change the match. The match can change so quickly. The Eala match was a perfect example. In the second set, when it was, it could have been 5-1 had they won the deciding points, but it was 3-0, and that was the difference. Like, it's such those points are so valuable. And it just, the match can change so quickly. It's exciting. All right, 30-0. If they're ever going to shorten the game because they feel like people can't pay attention, that would be the thing that I would adopt. Because it works for doubles. I mean, there's probably going to be a world in maybe in the future that the doubles rule does get applied to singles matches. Maybe the final. I would so be up for, if we're going best of 3 at the 1000s for sure, right? And then final set tiebreak. I mean, if you want to go with that, maybe it's a little too random. Maybe that's a bit too much. But like, if we adopted the doubles method in every single tournament, except for like maybe semifinals final, like make semifinals final be like normal rules. I don't know. Or maybe make 1000s normal rules. Like the big tournaments, we stick with that, but the smaller tournaments, just to kind of like... But then the smaller tournaments have less players, so you don't need to abbreviate the score. It's like, there's not that many players, so you don't need to worry. I mean, I don't know. It's not a perfect theory. But there might be a future where they do that. They do decide to abbreviate the single scoring just because it works for doubles. I don't know. I'm so tired of people trying to change tennis. Deuce is an important part of the game. Yeah, I know. I just enjoy. I don't know how we adopt it, but I enjoy the doubles aspect of deciding point. Like I like that, and I think it's such an interesting way to play. But like I would love to see it in singles somehow. That's why I'm saying like maybe after like 3 to 5 deuce points. It's like, okay, you've had your chance to try and win the game. Let's move on to the next one, right? Let's keep this going rather than just getting stuck on deuce for 20 minutes. Like, it's not so much that because look, I watch more tennis than any healthy, normal human being should watch. So abbreviating the game doesn't really help me. It means I can watch more matches. I can add more matches to my plate. But I just love that sudden death aspect of doubles, and I would love that to be in singles somehow. I like that more than I want the game to change. Like I don't need shorter matches. That's fine. We can keep doing what we're doing. It's fine. But I like that. How do we bring in that to singles? Because that's such an exciting part of the game for the doubles. 15 love. Happy we're watching this? Yeah, I wasn't going to watch this, but then it was on my maybe list. It was on the maybe list. And then I got everything I needed to get done this morning, and I was like, oh, well, let's watch this and fill in some hours before the matches later. Good drop shot, Sabalenka. Muchova in the net. 15 all. Removing deuce for exhibitions would help a lot, though. Well, they do that. Most exhibitions are sudden death deuce. All right, 15 all. As Muchova serves again. Into the backhand of Sabalenka, backhand of Muchova, to the backhand of Sabalenka down the line. That's a beautiful shot. 15-30. Will US Open do the mixed doubles format again like last year, or do you think it will come back at standard one? They'll probably do the mixed doubles again. Because I think it was a success financially. So they're probably, if it financially makes sense, they'll do it. So I'm pretty sure they'll do it again. But maybe this time they'll bring in more doubles players just so the doubles community don't get pissed off again. And the tennis community were pissed off on behalf of the doubles players too. I mean, it was not fair on a lot of people. So hopefully they bring in more. But the problem is they're going to find that balance, right? You do the same format, you bring in the doubles players. Are they going to have the same effect as Alcaraz playing? Probably not. So they're going to lose money. Like I don't know. The first edition was always going to be jam-packed. The second edition will probably be less. Like Sinner and Alcaraz won't play. 15-30, match break point, set points. As Muchova forehand, into the forehand of Sabalenka. Muchova forehand again. To the slice of Sabalenka, lob goes up. Muchova smash, put away. That's one save, 30-40. And then probably, again, I think once we get to like the third or fourth attempt of this, doubles, that'll be the standard one, and it depends on whether or not people care about it by that point. Because the first one's always a novelty, right? Everyone's going to be like, wow, Alcaraz and Raducanu playing doubles together? Wow. That's so crazy. I have to watch this. But like now that we've seen it, do we care? Like what happens next? Like this year, we're going to go, wow, they're playing again. That's like so crazy, I guess. So I don't know. I mean, I hope they just bring more doubles players in. I didn't mind it though. It was fun. 30-40. As the backhand return goes wide and Muchova survives, deuce. It was an interesting experiment, and it was fun. But as the doubles players proved, they're superior to the singles players when they play doubles. Like Irani and Vavasori, really didn't like. It was just an easy trophy for them. Like they didn't really have to do much. It was not fair. For the singles players to play up against real doubles players. So they need to bring more doubles competition in, because I think the best way to promote doubles is, yes, have your superstar singles players play that bring in the people that want to watch, Djokovic play, whatever. But then there's also like what I do, right? We watch certain players because a lot of people want to watch them, and then those people stick around and watch other players, right? That's how you promote the game. That's what I'm trying to do, right? I'm trying to promote it. Muchova survived 5-3, right? And, some people might watch men's tennis, but then they stick around for Sabalenka and they watch the women's tennis, or they watch Swiatek and then they get into that and then they become addicted. So I think that's the best way to try and get the double, the way to promote the doubles players is one, they've got to play the sport. Otherwise, how are you going to promote the doubles players if they're not invited? But also, you have to have those singles players to attract people enough. Like, you have to kind of get Alcaraz, because people want to watch Alcaraz play. They'll watch him play pickleball if he plays, right? He'll play golf and we'll watch, right? So he has to play, but then you watch him, but you might watch his opponents might be real doubles players. You get to know them, and then you might keep watching them because you enjoyed what they did. And then more doubles players get more, but they got to invite doubles players. Got to bring the doubles players in. You can't just, put the singles players in and then be like, because then it doesn't grow the game of doubles at all. Volley goes down the line to the forehand of Muchova. Lob goes up from Muchova, but it's out. 15 love. Does that make sense? It's all a theory. I have no idea. I don't know what the economics behind it is, but that's how I would do it. 15 love. As Sabalenka serves again. An ace down the tee. All right, 30 love. Hey, Ken Rosewell's in the house. The man they named the stadium after. Muscles. One of the what do they used to call the Aussies in the 60s? What were the like when we were dominating the sport? What were we called? There was a name. I'm pretty sure there was a nickname for like the Rod Laver era. As Muchova hits in there at 40 love, I'm going to research it. I don't think it was the Invincibles. That was a cricket thing. But we dominated the. We were back in the 60s. We kicked everyone's ass. 40 love. Set point Sabalenka. There's a backhand return from Muchova, goes into the backhand of Sabalenka. Sabalenka hits a winner. She's that good. All right. The golden era? That's what I'm reading on online. By the way, chat, let's go through some player nicknames for fun, because there's a lot of player nicknames, apparently. I didn't know there was this many player nicknames. All right, first set, 14 winners, 5 errors from Sabalenka, 4 aces, flawless, didn't face a break point. And Muchova, 4 aces as well, 9 winners, 9 errors, but she faced a lot of break points. A lot of those were in the first game of the match, though, so maybe after the first game of the match, which was the break, at one love, she got broken. She was down love 40. Maybe that was the if that game didn't happen, Muchova might have been able to be a bit more competitive. So maybe just a slow start from Muchova, cost her, and that's, you can't have a slow start against Sabalenka, otherwise she will destroy you. So apparently Pliskova's nickname is the Ace Queen. Margaret Court's nickname, she had a couple of nicknames: the Arm, Mighty Maggie, and the Aussie Amazon. Also, who calls Andy Roddick Rocket Man? A-Rod is Roddick's nickname, but also Rocket Man? Is that real? I've never heard anyone call Andy Roddick Rocket Man. Is that like an American thing that I've never heard of? A-Rod is the name, for sure. Baby Fed for Grigor. Boom Boom Becker. Or Boom Boom Boris. Big Foe for Tiafo. The Bulldozer David Ferrer. Okay. Martina Hingis nicknamed Chucky? That's not real. Why is she named Chucky? That's not real. Carlos Alcaraz Carlitos. Danimal for Danielle Collins. Delpo. The Demon for Demonor. Dominic Thiem, the Dominator or the Prince of Clay? Dominic Thiem will forever be the Prince of Clay. He will forever be the Prince of Clay. Rockman for Roddick. No, Rocket Man. Like Elton John. Like Rocket Man, Elton John. Like that, like the song. Good song. Yeah, Dominic Thiem will forever be Prince of Clay. Even if he won a French Open, he'd still be the Prince of Clay. By the way, David Nalbandian, this is so mean. I don't know who came up with this, but they need to check themselves and don't laugh because this is not funny. El Ray David is one of David Nalbandian's nicknames, and then somebody nicknamed him Fat Dave, and that is you know what? That's rude. Whoever made that nickname up should be ashamed of themselves. That's mean. Federer's got more nicknames than anybody else. Fed Express, the King, the Maestro, God of Tennis, and the GOAT. Sinner's got Fox, Carrot, and then Yannick the Merciless. That's kind of sick, that one. But he is the Fox. I mean, I think Yannick Sinner's nickname is the Fox. Like, he is the Fox. He's not a carrot. He's a fox. He's the Fox. He's even got a logo. Now, Bandian is still, in my opinion, one of the best players never won a slam. He is, he was so good to watch. Anyways, 15-30. And I'm a Leighton Hewitt fan, and I hated when he played Leighton. Actually, I loved it when he played Leighton because it was always always fun. But yeah, like I thought Nalbandian was so fun. Nalbandian was like, I mean, he was a disruptor, right? He wasn't. I don't know who he's like today. I mean, kind of like I don't know who's somebody that beats Alcaraz and Sinner, like troubles them all the time, because he would trouble the GOATs all the time. Most of the time, like he was such a disruptor. When nobody else could figure out how to beat Federer, he was like, Federer sucks. I played him in juniors. He's not that good. 40-30. And I think he said as much. There's an interview with him saying that like he wasn't afraid of Federer. And he really wasn't. He beat Federer in his prime so many times. Hey, Orchard Blue, thanks for becoming a member. Welcome to the club. All right, 40-30. Muchova to take. The first game she does with an ace. All right, one love. Yeah, Eala's playing in like a couple of hours. I'm just having a look here. Any other names that we've missed? Guga Quirton. Clay. Oh, the Clay Surfer. Quirton the Clay Surfer. That is actually the sickest name. The Clay Surfer. I love that. I love that. Somebody needs to make a shirt of Guga Quirton made of clay on a Silver Surfer surfboard. That's what needs to be happening. Somebody put that into AI and make some fucking art. Clay Surfer. I love that. That's probably my favorite nickname. I love that. Guga the Clay Surfer. I mean, put that on a shirt. What else we got? Ivan the Terrible or the Terminator for Lendl. That's sick. That's like actually. Why were the nicknames so much better in the 80s and 90s? They don't do them anymore. Now it's just like nicknames suck now. Andre Agassi, the Punisher. Ooh, scary names. Chris Evert, Ice Princess or Ice Maiden. Borg, the Iceman. Ili Nastasi, Nasty. I like that one. That's a good one too. 15 love. It's sort of sliced down the line in the net from Muchova, and it's 30 love. Fabrice Santoro, the Magician. That was a good one. Ken Rosewell, Muscles. Andy Murray, Muzzer. Joe Wilfred Songa, Smokin' Joe Willie. That's a great name. Or Tsunami. Joe Wilfred Songa, the Tsunami. That's crazy. 40 love. Kind of love that, though. Smokin' Joe is a good name. I mean, they took it from boxing, but... Pistol Pete, I mean, that's an all-time. No one's gonna get out like that. Pistol Pete is always like that's better than any of the. I mean, Rafa, Roger, and Novak. Pistol Pete is the best nickname of those. Like no one's beaten. Like that's the best, right? I mean, yeah, okay, you can say like Nole. That's it. That's an interesting. I mean, that's like saying Peter or Pete, right? It's like okay, but like. Pistol Pete is like, all right. That's just so cool. Rocket Rod Laver, great name. Again, love that. Stanimal or Stan the Man, we love that one. Super Brat, John McEnroe. Swiss Miss, Martina Hingis. Sabalenka the Tiger, we know that one. Wild Thing for Kyrgios. There's some good names there. Their names were way better back in the day. Way better back in the day. 15 love. Ivan Lendl the Terminator is like so good. And Guga the Clay Surfer, love that. We gotta get some nicknames. We gotta bring back nicknames, chat. 15 0. We gotta bring nicknames back. All right. I know in the UTS they do nicknames. They're all right, but I think they make the players pick the nickname, and sometimes the players don't make the best names for themselves. The fans need to make up the nicknames. We need to do them. We need to do them. All right, 15-0. As Sabalenka gets back and down the line to the slice of Muchova. As a forehand goes down the line from Sabalenka, Muchova backhand in the net. It's 15-30. Muchova's fine. She's just been outplayed. All right, 15-30. As Muchova with a great serve, 30-0. The best nicknames we've got now is the Demon, for sure. I mean, what do we call Ben Shelton? I know we call him Biceps, but... I do like the nickname Benny Biceps. That's a good one because it's totally accurate. He has biceps. We all do. Most of us do. 30-all, backhand rally. As that goes to the net by Muchova, and it's 30-40. Big Ben. Yeah, Big Ben. But that's a bit, like, generic. What's Musetti's nickname? He's got to have some Italian, like nickname, doesn't he? They do give nicknames in Italian, don't they? Shelton is Big Ben. Now, Big Ben's boring. We're gonna. Big Ben's boring, right? Have you ever seen Big Ben in real life? It's just a clock. It's attached to Parliament. It's a government building. It's boring. Return goes 4 from Muchova's good deuce. Iceman for Casper Ruud. Yeah, but that's been used. We can't I don't want to reuse take Borg's nicknames and just reuse them. We've got to be creative. We've got to come up with original stuff. That's what makes those nicknames awesome, is that they were original to tennis. Like the Terminator for Ivan Lendl is sick. But then if we reuse it for Sinner, it's kind of like whatever. Sinner's the fox, though, because he said so. Rafa's the raging bull. I mean, that's, again, great for him. Yeah, Big Ben is a very nice looking clock tower. I agree. But it's also a terrible nickname. So what? His name is Ben and he is big. I mean they don't have to be complicated, but that's kind of a bit like, come on, we could be better than that. Benny Biceps is probably no better. It's like his name is Ben and he has biceps. That's why we got to be better. We got to make better nicknames. Anyways, advantage. Muchova, she gets the game. What about Jack Draper? What's his nickname? He's got to have a nickname, and don't say Drapes, because that's just, come on, we can do better than that. Surely Jack Draper's got a nickname. Like Medvedev is like the Slim Reaper. Like, Kyrgios came up with, we need Nick Kyrgios to come up with some nicknames here. He knows how to do it. The Slim Reaper is such a great nickname for Medi. Obviously Octopus, right? I mean, they're the nicknames. Carlos said that they call Sin a carrot in the locker room. That's bullying. That's bullying right there. He's a fox. He's not a carrot. That's bullying. You call somebody at school a carrot, you get detention. You call the wrong person a carrot. That's bullying. And Sinner's just too nice to say anything. He's too nice to say it. Jack Draper the Bolt? Is that because of his tattoo? Yeah, that's not bad. I don't mind that. The Bolt's a good name. Sinner definitely is the fox, yeah. I mean, it literally is his logo, right? If he wanted to be called Carrot, he'd have a carrot logo. Is a Polish Punisher good for Iga? That's not bad. All right. 2-1. Muchova in the second. Backhand rally. As that goes the net from Sabalenka. Love 15. By the way, Bencic won. Holy crap. She won 6-love in the tiebreak. 7-love in the tiebreak. Wow. That is impressive. Oh, and also she was 2 points away from losing Bencic, so that's even more impressive. Bencic flying back. Bageled in the tiebreak. Switzerland needed that win though, because Bergs has been playing so well. He's probably going to beat Stan. Yeah, Bencic definitely is probably a lot of people's dark horse. She might be my dark horse pick for the Open if she gets a good draw. All right, Sabalenka serves the fault, second serve. All as Sabalenka serves in the corner. Muchova return goes long. 30-15. All right. $30-15. All right, 30-15. This would a 4. Oh, it goes out by Sabalenka. All right, 30-all. Sabalenka serves again. And it's a fault. Second serve. As Muchova return off the tape, hits it in. She says sorry. 30-40. 30-40. Break point for Muchova to get the break in the second. Serve to the forehand. Muchova return goes in the forehand. Sabalenka. Muchova hits it long on the pass, and it's deuce. As someone who doesn't watch a ton of Bencic besides when she plays my favorites, who does she best compare to? Who does Bencic best compare to? Chat, give me some answers. I'm trying to think. Bencic best compares to maybe not as hard hitting as Anisimova, but can be backhand wise, has a great backhand. So maybe Anisimova like backhand. But she doesn't have as big of a game as she doesn't hit the ball as hard as Anisimova. And her serve isn't as big as some of those other bigger hitters. As that goes in from Muchova to the forehand of Sabalenka. Forehand of Muchova. Badosa, yeah, maybe Badosa. As with a forehand winner there from Sabalenka. She survives. What is it? 2-0. Yeah, maybe Badosa. Badosa's not a bad comparison. Yeah. Probably Badosa. I'm trying to think who else. Who else is there sort of... Yeah. Alright, 2-0. As we get an ace from Muchova, 15 love. Bencic reminds me of Hingis. I wonder why. Is it because when you see her name, it says she's from Switzerland? You're like, hey, Hingis is from there, and that's where the comparison ends. Same country, same person. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? She's also like Federer. And I'm like Ash Barty. All right, 30 love. Not, she's kind of like Noskova. Yeah. Yeah, I think Badosa is probably the better comparison. Probably in all aspects as well. Like maybe Badosa serves a little bigger, but the ground strokes are similar. The emotions are similar. Like Badosa gets fired up, Bencic gets fired up. Like they both love a shout. Yeah. Badosa is a lot of comparisons. 40 love. Does that help? Ron, did that help? Or do we need to compare someone else? All right, 40 love. 7 to the back end of Sabalenka. Return is into the net. All right. Muchova holds 3-2. I think so. Okay. All right. Three, 2. I feel like we can give Menchik a nickname. Jakub Menchik. We've got to give him a nickname. I mean, Fonseca's got a bunch of nicknames. You know, obviously Fonzie. Him. Wow Jow, or whatever some people, Wow Fonseca, or whatever. He's probably got a Brazilian nickname as well that nobody's heard of yet. But I mean, if Guga's got the clay surfer, Joao's got to have a nickname. There's got to be a Brazilian nickname already for him. A friend that doesn't watch tennis at all and said that he could beat Carlos Alcaraz. Anything tennis is easy. Is sport on. I had a debate with him. Well, your friend's an idiot. I'm sorry, Ethan, but your friend's a moron. 3-2. And also, I think your friend's rage baiting you, so just don't engage. They're just doing it for fun. They're just trying to rage bait you. Menchik, if he gets better, the Ice Beast. I mean, we call him Killer Instinct Hubie. But that nickname makes no sense unless you know who Hurkacz is. What are the chances of Muchova winning a slam this year? I mean, if she wins this match and wins this title, you got to think pretty high. If she stays healthy, anything could happen. But it's also a long line of players that are going to try and win slams this year. You know, Anisimova is probably the head of the queue when it comes to new champions on the horizon. All right, 30 love. Nice shot from Sabalenka. All right, 40 love. Woo. $40 love. We had a fault second serve. Second serve. Into the forehand Muchova. Return goes into the forehand Sabalenka. Sabalenka gets wide, 40-15. 40-15. Sabalenka serves again. And Muchova return goes long. All right, 3-0. 3-3. Muchova doesn't get intimidated by top 5 players. True. The only issue that Muchova has is playing finals. Well, she plays amazing, and then she just, for whatever reason, has a shocking finals record and just can't get it together in the final to win the trophies. You know, we've seen her play multiple finals where she's played amazing in the semis, and then she gets to the final and she just spooks herself out. She just needs to win a trophy and then you know, get past that. You know. All right. Sabalenka shanks it, goes into the crowd, and she can't see where it is. She's like, where did that go? So she goes like this. She hits it. It goes like that way, and she's like, where's it gone? That was the best shank of the year. 15 love. That's what a shank. Shank of the year so far. As Muchova serves. Into the backhand. Sabalenka puts that away. No shank. This time, 15-all. 15-all. As the return goes to forehand Muchova. Sabalenka backhand with Muchova with a forehand into the forehand of Sabalenka. Again, the forehand of Muchova. Sabalenka forehand again. This one goes wide. 30-15. 30-15. As Muchova serves again. Just wide. Second serve. Sabalenka hits a return. But Muchova wins a point. 40-15. Uh, 40-15. As the backhand return from Sabalenka goes long, Muchova holds 4-3 in the second. Okay. All right, Muchova 4-3. Hingis was a master at shot selection and ball placement, which allowed her to move around the court effortlessly. She was more finesse instead of raw power. Nice. Yeah, I didn't get to watch much Hingis at all, actually, but yeah. So the winner of this match will take on the winner in of the other semi-final, which is between Kostyuk and Pegula. And Kostyuk's beaten both Anisimova and Andreeva to get to this semi-final. So Kostyuk does this. She does every now and again. She'll pop up and have a week like this where she takes out a couple of top 10 players, and we're all thinking she's back. So hopefully this isn't just like, remember when she made that Stuttgart final and we're all thinking, holy shit, here we go. Kostyuk's going to be dangerous for everybody. And then she just kind of disappeared. So hopefully Kostyuk, it's just the start of a consistent year of troubling the top 10. They just said it's 40 in Sydney. Yeah, it is. Yeah, Sydney, it's all the weather from Melbourne's gone to Sydney. 4-3. Should definitely watch some of her old matches from the mid-90s. All right. I'll go check it out. Then Kostyuk does get injured. Yeah, she does get injured, doesn't she? Hopefully she's healthy. Come on, Sabalenka, don't play around. Let's finish this in 2. Well, she is serving. 15 love. There's a bit of fault, second serve. Second serve into the backhand of Muchova. Backing out from Sabalenka as Muchova backhand to the forehand of Sabalenka. Into the forehand of Muchova. Sabalenka backhand cross court. Muchova slice. Sabalenka gets back with a slice as Muchova forehand cross court. Sabalenka hits it long. It's 15-all. All right, 15-all. Sabalenka serves again. Hasn't been broken yet, but she has faced break point. All right, first serve is a fault, second serve. As we go back and down the line from Sabalenka. Forehand from Muchova cross court. Sabalenka gets with a slice, but it's in the net. 15-30. All right, as Muchova hits a great return, Sabalenka in the net, 15-40. Sabalenka in trouble. As Muchova hits it in the net on the return. 30-40. Still break point. 30-40. First serve is a fault. Second serve. As the return goes into the forehand of Sabalenka, Muchova with a drop shot. Sabalenka gets it with a slice and drop shot back and survives deuce. All right. Sabalenka survives again. Deuce. As the return goes in the net. And it's advantage Sabalenka. Serve again. There's a fault. Second serve. As the return goes to forehand to Sabalenka. Forehand from Muchova. Down to the backhand of Sabalenka as Muchova slicing the net. It's 4-all. Four. Sabalenka tries to unleash on the return, but misses. Sabalenka returns back into Muchova. Forehand from Sabalenka. Into the forehand of Muchova. Again to the forehand of Sabalenka. Just going cross court. Muchova goes out wide and hits it in the net. 15-all. As Muchova with a backhand. Down the line of the forehand of Sabalenka. Muchova forehand down the line again. Sabalenka backhand cross-court winner. Just too good. Way too strong. 15-30. As we get a slice now from Muchova's a drop shot. Sabalenka comes in with a drop shot. Muchova puts up a lob. It goes into the back of the Sabalenka. Muchova with a drop volley winner. Good hustle from Muchova. 30-all. 30-all. As we get a forehand down the line from Muchova to the back of the Sabalenka. But Sabalenka overhits it. 40-30. And we get a fault, second serve. As Sabalenka just hits a return winner off a second serve. And we get to deuce. As with a forehand from Muchova. That goes long. All right. Advantage Sabalenka. To take the break and serve of the match. As the return goes forward, Muchova in the net. Man. Muchova just falling apart at the wrong time. Alright, Sabalenka's going to serve for this match and to make the final. Where do you watch these matches? You can watch this on WTA TV. It's possible that those who love the way Muchova plays right now must be Sabalenka fans. Okay, maybe. What percentage of the audience are female? A good percentage. I was asking because I bet on her getting 2 breakpoint wins. Okay. Who? By the way, we've got a couple of hours for the next match, so once we get through this, we'll go to that. Pegula Kostrick will be interesting. We're never going to get Pegula versus Andreeva, are we? That's the match that we're never going to get, right? That's like the Gauff Raducanu match. We're never going to get that match. 2 matches I want to see at least 3 times today. 3 times this year, sorry, not today. This year. I want to see Raducanu Gauff. I want to see at least twice. And I want to see Andreeva Pegula. Sabalenka gets a forehand winner, and it's 15-love. I think the best final, if we're going to have Sabalenka, it's going to be Sabalenka Pegula. We need that final. We need that final, right? All right, 15-love. All right, 15-all. Sabalenka 3 points away from the final. Jovic Svitolina, probably not today because of there's just so many matches on at the same time. Swiatek Gauff is at the same time. ACMT from Sabalenka 30-15. All right, 30-15. As we're back in return to the forehand of Sabalenka, but Sabalenka gets a wide 30-all. All right. 30-0. As return goes the forehand to Sabalenka back. A forehand now from Muchova is in the net. 40-30. Match point Sabalenka. To take the first spot in the final. Yeah, Eala's coming up in like 2 hours. So I'm going to use this opportunity to go and get some food. As the return goes in, the forehand Sabalenka. And Sabalenka hits a forehand wide. All right, deuce. Late call. Oh, that was a late call by Hawkeye. All right, deuce. Match point saved. As we serve the forehand of Muchova. Muchova hits it out. And it's advantage. Sabalenka, match point number 2. Advantage Sabalenka. Advantage Sabalenka, match point number 2. And she serves a fault. Second serve. Second serve. Into the forehand of Muchova. Return goes to forehand of Sabalenka. Muchova forehand on the stretch. To the forehand of Sabalenka. Again, the forehand of Muchova. Down the line to the back end of Sabalenka. Sabalenka hits it wide and is back to deuce. Oh, and again, just out by Sabalenka. And we get to deuce. Serve again. Into the forehand of Muchova. Return goes in to the forehand of Sabalenka. Muchova can't get that one. Sabalenka puts it away. Advantage Sabalenka. As Sabalenka serves a fault. Second serve. Serve in the back and Muchova return. To the back of Sabalenka. Muchova with a passing shot. Sabalenka with a volley. Missed it again. Jeez. Sabalenka just can't finish this match. Back to deuce. And she's missing, like, in the same area all the time. Like, she's aiming for that, like... That's, like, I guess if you're looking down, looking at the court, the right-hand sideline, she missed it by this much on a backhand and a forehand, and now on a volley, she missed it by this much. And she serves a fault. Second serve. 3 match points already. They've all come off, and she's lost them all by making errors, so it's been her fault, I guess. Muchova hasn't saved them as much. Backhand Sabalenka goes out again. She keeps missing on that sideline. Advantage Muchova. She's just missing on that sideline. Advantage Muchova. 4 shots now. The volley was the worst, but there's 3 ground strokes that have missed by like less than an inch. And she serves out wide. The backhand Muchova hits it wide. Good serve. Sabalenka's like, why can't I do that on match point? All right, deuce. Three match points for Sabalenka so far. Sabalenka serves again. There's a fault. Second serve. Oh, second serve ace. Ooh, okay. Match point number 4. Advantage Sabalenka to take her spot in the final. She's made the Brisbane final a bunch. All right. Sabalenka serves. Into the backhand of Muchova return. Into the forehand of Sabalenka. Muchova forehand. Cross court. Sabalenka's got it and goes down the line. Muchova slices it, but it's going to go wide. There it is. Sabalenka gets it done eventually. And it's... Whoop. Sabalenka in the final. She takes out Muchova pretty easily in the end. I mean, there was a little bit of a struggle in the start of that second set, but... I mean, really... Sabalenka never really looked like she was going to lose. I think it was like 15-40 at 2-1. Maybe that was the only, like, blip. But the defending champions into the final again. For the third straight year, Sabalenka's made the final here. And interestingly enough, if I have a look at who's won Brisbane in the past, there might be a bit of a theme. So you've got last year was Sabalenka. The year before was Raducanu. The year before, in 2020 and 2019 was Pliskova. Pliskova 2017. Azarenka 2016, Sharapova 2015, Serena won it back in 2013, 2014. You had Kvitova back in 2011 and Azarenka in 2009. So, besides Svitolina and maybe Kanepi and Kleisters, there's a theme, right? I mean, big hitters, big serving. Sabalenka made the final in 24. Keys made the final in 2020. So, again, there's a theme that the winners of Brisbane are very similar players. So Anisimova should win Brisbane in the future, right? Because she's in the same she's kind of the same category of player. I mean, Raducanu doing well here would be no surprise. Who else? Maybe Zhang doing well here as well in the future. But she'd probably play a United Cup anyway. But yeah, Brisbane is a tournament for the big servers, it seems. And Sabalenka in the final again. She might take on Pegula or she'll either play Pegula or Kostyuk in that final, and she'll be the favorite. But yeah, I think Anisimova should. I mean, this tournament's made for Anisimova if with all those big servers. I mean, she's in the same. I'm surprised. I mean, Davenport didn't play long enough to win this, but I'm sure if this tournament was around back in the 90s or the early 2000s, she probably would have. Davenport probably would have won this as well. It seems like that's the type of player that wins Brisbane. Venus, back in the day. But there we go. Sabalenka in the final again. By the way, the man named Stan is down 4-1 against Bergs. But we'll be back in about probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours, probably 2 hours to watch some Auckland, and then we'll go and watch Swiatek Gauff. Also, Sinkeraz is going to be at some point as well. So yeah, plenty more tennis to go today. It's a big, busy day today. Thank you, Bradley. Appreciate it. Swiatek versus Gauff is apparently scheduled for today as the second match. Sorry for misinforming you incorrectly yesterday. I misled by reading Wikipedia. That's all right, Silver. Don't worry about it. I was at the drive-through to get ice cream, and I saw the schedule, and I saw that they were playing second, and I got very excited. So I was very happy with that. So that's fine. Don't worry about it. I would have been worse the other way if you had said that it was second and they came on first, and because I didn't want them to come on first. Because the scheduling is better when they're playing second. There's more like we won't hopefully won't have a clash. So it'd be better. It's good that you were wrong. It's okay. It was a good thing. Have you figured out where to watch Sinkeraz? No. I have no idea. That's part of my next hour and a half to figure it out. Might have to just fly to Seoul. Your channel was on my YouTube recap? Hey, thank you for watching. Appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in so much that YouTube recognized that and told you that you watch a lot of tennis. So thank you. All right. So, yeah, next stop, Auckland. So jump over there, and we'll be back to do it all again. But yeah, Swiatek versus Gauff is also happening later. So if you're not coming back for the next match, we'll see you with that match, hopefully. So yeah, big day of tennis today. We're starting to get some serious Australian Open preview matches coming up. On the men's side, not so much, but on the women's side, 1,000,000%. All these matches that were happening on the WTA over the next couple of days are going to all be something that we mentally, write down, or maybe even physically write down, so that we can we know what's going to happen, or we can try and predict what happens at the Australian Open. Sabalenka wins 3-4. Again, Sabalenka flawless. She has not stumbled. When every other player in the top 10 seems to have had some problem, she has not had a problem. She is flawless, hasn't lost a set, didn't get broken in this match, even though facing a bunch of break points in the middle of the second set. Served amazing. But yeah, Sabalenka, if she's not the favorite for the Australian Open, then that person's wrong. So she's a favorite. If she loses in the final, then maybe we can have a conversation. But Sabalenka is in form, and she's in the final again. I'll see you later.